You know, you add that layer to it, but then you have your young daughters that you, of course, need to protect because they're your daughters. I don't even know. But and then there's also this degree, I think, that they probably feel as parents too. With 19 kids, they did outsource their childcare to the older children. Like, and so there's another degree of like guilt and another layer. I honestly can't imagine what happened in their brains, and they're very religious.
All right. Play with matches. Right now, Gabrielle is angry because she wanted to... What did you want to do, Gabrielle?
Put on eyeliner.
Why?
Because I like eyeliner.
Because you don't look pretty. Oh, she doesn't look pretty enough, you guys.
No, because like on camera, your eyes just... It makes your eyes pop more. So whatever. Sorry, everyone.
Anywho, so Kris Tyson, the gentleman who was once MrBeast's best friend.
And is now
not only not his best friend, it's a lady, and is in the middle of, as you guys all know, a soul-crushing, career-crushing scandal.
Life-crushing scandal.
I mean, this actually is a life-crushing scandal. Yeah. Because, again, if there's one rule of the internet, it is that
don't mess with kids.
Don't mess with kids, dude.
Or
if
cats.
You do anything that's even remotely...
Because we learned that from Netflix.
Don't F with cats. Mm-hmm. If you guys
have never watched... It's really good.
Have you watched it,
I have watched it, yes.
You watched the whole thing?
I watched the whole thing.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
Okay, who was the villain?
I forget, but I watched it.
Okay, so like what? But tell me about the villain.
Oh my gosh.
Just a little
I don't remember. It was a long time ago, but I did watch the whole thing. I was very like interested in it. I'm a psych major. Like that was my undergrad. I love that stuff.
Hey guys, you know when someone over-explains and you're like, that's a lot of information.
I swear to God, I watched it.
You did?
God is my witness.
Okay, so what are the guy killed cats and then what else?
What do you mean, what else?
Like, what else did he do?
I don't remember, but I swear I watched it.
Pop quiz.
Oh my God.
Was he in America, Brazil, Canada, or Mexico?
I don't remember. Not America.
That is correct.
Yeah, but I don't remember. It's like
pop quiz. Was he gay or straight?
I don't remember.
Did he actually murder any human beings or only cats?
I don't remember.
Wow, this is really convincing, you guys.
Humans too.
How many?
A lot. I don't remember.
Did he?
Oh my gosh. I just remember watching the, like how they figured it all out. They were looking for like little pieces of evidence in all the different videos. And there was something about some outside place.
See, I know Gabrielle very well.
Trust me, I watched it.
I feel like Gabrielle came in when I was watching it and she saw a little portion of it because
I watched it.
I told her to watch that show 1,000 times. And I know.
Let me get a memory jogger.
It's all good, dude.
No.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Now you've undermined me.
Anyway,
in front of my people.
Don't F with cats is one of the best.
Good.
It's amazing. It is amazing, whether Gabrielle knows it or not. But anyway, so you definitely don't mess with cats, and you don't mess with kids, and you don't beat up girls. Those are the rules, right?
Yeah, I remember. It was this like kind of effeminate gentleman.
It's Luna Magnotti.
Yes.
I think Luna.
Effeminate gentleman. Wasn't that a nice way to say that?
Hey, and he talks like this. Yes. I am not associated with that woman, the serial killer. Everyone is saying that I romantically connected to her, but I'm not.
It's really good. You should watch it. Anyway,
he is so you know that psychological disorder where people feel physical pain if they're not having people pay attention to them.
Yeah,
it's like a compulsion to like have people pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
He has that. Is the most obvious like person who has that. Like has that, you know. People who are like, you know, always looking for attention, you know, you're like, I wonder if Tekashi 6ix9ine has that. You know, you're like, he probably does because he seems like he'll do anything for attention. But this guy, it's a straight up psychological disorder. Mm-hmm. Like, and it's Luna Magnotti.
And I wonder now if Kris Tyson is of a similar nature.
Yeah, I don't know, because Kris Tyson definitely likes to share inappropriate videos with teenage boys. Mm-hmm. So here's the deal. Let's get everybody caught up. So we just did a video about this, so we don't need to go over like the basics. It's just bottom line that Kris Tyson, the former boy, current trans lady, Looking
Ava, Kris,
super cute.
so hot.
Super cute. If I remember, I'll pull up that stream they did when he first came out. Where they were doing that unboxing on MrBeast's other channel. And everybody's just acting like everything's normal. You know, like it's like, oh, everything's just normal.
Here's
except that
Chris
is in a crop top with his belly hanging out because that's totally what
her belly hanging out.
Yeah, what a girl would do if she had that body is like, and everyone's just acting normal. Hey, Jimmy, look at the one I got. You're like, and everyone there is just like, what's happening right now? Yeah. What is it? This is $1 billion brand, pal. What do you think? Why are you making this about you? What are you doing? Anyway, but so that person who clearly doesn't have any psychological issues and definitely has nothing stable at all in the fetish, realm going on, really wanted to share hardcore corn videos with teenagers for some reason, and it just seemed
felt compelled.
Yeah, and anyway, so that was like a what's it called? Accusation of brooming, and the person who he had been, accused of doing that to came out and was all, I never felt that way with Kris.
How old is this person?
Now that person's, 20 or something, but at the time was like...
Oh, this is going way back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It was when Kris was 20. Kris was 20 at the time.
And how old was the person?
These kids were like 13 or 14.
Wow.
Listen, dude. I don't really remember that well what it was like to be 20, but I know I wasn't doing any kind of why would I have a relationship with a 13-year-old?
With a 13-year-old. Yeah, exactly.
And if I did, I'm going to be sharing corn videos with them. No chance. Zero. Absolutely none. If I want to talk about corn, I would do that with my grown-up friends. You know what I mean?
In the boob chain.
Sure. But I mean, when you're 20, it's like, dude, you're in a fraternity, and everybody watches it, and you make jokes about it. You talk about it constantly, and it's like a joke.
Sure.
But
you don't send it to children.
You don't create a specialized channel for it in a Discord group that is filled with children. So
he was the creator of it?
Yes.
Oh,
and then so basically it was MrBeast.
Is this it was like the cartoon kind that you were talking about, or like
that
legit
he's
real?
Associated with that person.
Okay.
So it's like you already know he's into kiddie stuff. Mm-hmm. But in this case, this was about the actual interactions that he had with these kids that were running this Discord with him. And there were accusations that there was a bunch of racist stuff in there that they had to scrub and all this. And basically the kid that was the main focus denied all of it being true.
Okay.
But now another guy who is also a moderator came out and is like, and we're going to look at this. He's like, actually, it's all true. Not only is he lying, but I have the receipts because another moderator downloaded the entire history of the Discord and put it out. It is absolutely damning.
Wow.
Damning.
That's just happened today?
I only watched half of it because I wanted to make sure that we watched it live here. I've seen the first half. And I will say in advance, what I am seeing here, if it were not teenagers, it's whatever. No big deal at all.
Yeah.
It's stupid, but no big deal. It's the fact that they're teenagers where you're like, what?
And not, if it was just a bunch of teenagers.
Correct.
But it was an adult facilitating
who
with
seems
a bunch
to be
of
very confused about some things.
About just a lot.
Yeah.
This person has no idea who they are.
So this guy Kavos is hilarious. He, he's a reaction channel, and he really
had some strong reactionary feelings.
I just love his videos because he torches people.
Okay, right on.
And he's British, so you'll like him.
Oh, love him.
But you see here, look, everybody is like,
British,
new evidence. Now Ava needs to be arrested. So again, I have not seen the full breadth of this. It is possible that as these messages continue to roll out in this video, I'm going to be like, never mind, that's a really big deal. Okay. But I only watched the beginning, so let's watch it.
This is part 2 to yesterday's video.
This is the guy who is refuting everything that... so the other guy was all, it's not true. This is the other guy that's all 100% is true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of me talking about Ava, Kris Tyson, and what they did to me when I was 15 years old. This video has all the proof in it, all the receipts, and all the screenshots, thanks to an old friend of mine who was a moderator in Chris's Discord server at the time, Cookie. Now, Cookie actually went ahead and downloaded logs of all the individual channels on Chris's server before it went public, knowing that this was kind of being covered up, and he kept the logs of it for himself. He actually reached out to me here on Twitter, and I'm going to provide a lot of the screenshots backing up the claims that I made that Lava refuted. For example, I made a claim that there was an NSFW channel in the server where...
For anybody who is outside of internet culture, NSFW means not safe for work, and that means corn.
Oh.
Chris would spam corn. Here you can see Chris talking about locking down the NSFW channel to True Gods and Anointed only. By the way, this is in 2019. I was a True God and I was a minor. Not only that,
What
but you
does
can
that
see
mean?
me right below.
What?
True God.
It's a name. It's his user handle.
No. Okay.
Below it, Nathan.rtx saying this is a bad idea. So even I knew as a kid that this was a really bad idea. Here is...
Or maybe True God is Chris, I think he's saying. It's someone's handle.
Lava himself talking about starting the commencement of cleaning the server, word for word. I said he was talking about scrubbing the server. He says that never happened. Here you can see him talking about it, as well as me and Cookie himself talking about it. I just want to make this video real quick, disproving some of the claims that Lava refuted and showing that they actually are true, but I actually have thousands of Discord messages to go through in these logs that I was just provided by Cookie. Shout out to him for giving me them, and I'm going to be going through them and posting an update video with some more proof.
And now we have the full leak. So this thread here from Cope and Seif. So let's get into these messages, and the more they go on, the worse they get.
Okay, I missed that. I would have said that in the beginning, that clearly they're going to get much worse because I stopped it intentionally so we could react live.
Okay.
So these first ones are kind of like, okay, this is messed up, but not arrest him yet.
Right.
It includes messages and leaks from Chris. It is absolutely disgusting. So it starts off with these messages from people in the Discord.
And the only other thing, I'm sorry that I'm interrupting this. I just want to say one thing. You always have to keep in mind when you watch these that people like YouTubers are always going to drive towards sensationalism and like this guy is the worst. And in some cases, and I'm not saying this is one of them, I am sure that this is going to end up being really, 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 really bad. But I just mean like when you're watching, you have to watch through the lens of like, he's going to torch this guy no matter what, right?
Yes.
So we need to just objectively look at the messages. Because again, I have not seen him, and then we'll just see and be like, okay. You know.
Lock the P thread too. There needs to be lots of changes before Beast server goes public. What P thread? In my opinion, NSFW. We did that. How many effing times do I have to say it's locked? That's Nathan interacting with someone else. And we're seeing already that there was an NSFW part of the server. In November 2019, the server was cleaned, it seems, for anyone who actually cares about slurs. Though I think that's at the low end of the issue, considering an admission of P convos. And I don't think Chris has said anything that has been deleted.
Think about that for a second, that they're saying that they cleaned a bunch of N-bombs out.
Okay.
And everyone's like, but I think that's pretty much on the low end of why everybody should be concerned.
Right.
Bad look. Meant the cleansing of the Discord. So this is Lava. Search for every kind of bad word and every no.
I'm sorry. And Lava is the guy who defended Chris, saying that none of this happened.
Delete every instance of it unless it's a bot log. Best to search older to newer, so it's any bot logs. Yeah, everything needs gone. Correct, says Nathan. Unless there's a bot log or something in rules, the server is going to be spotless and ready for partnership. So here we see Lava definitely lied already. There's more instances of this. When Lava said, we did not scrub the Discord clean of our remarks or...
There you go. Caught. Lie.
You just got caught in 4K lying. And you'll get caught again. Clearly in this server, a lot
Dude,
of
what the hell is going on with Kavos' sideburns?
Because they had to do a complete clean.
Look at that.
Before going public.
What on earth? What are you doing? Is that not weird?
It's interesting. It's okay.
By the way, I went and deleted every single time the N word has been used, so that improves chances of partnership a lot. While it was a private server, yes.
I probably.
We should do it out of all banned words. Let us know if we do.
So, like, what I stopped at basically was.
Says and replies to Britt the Mum saying.
Basically, lots of N bombs, but.
No. What I stopped at was that they acknowledged that there was a not safe for work, basically a corn channel in the Discord. And they were like, let's delete it. The kids were like, let's delete it. And Chris was like advocating, no, man. Like, let's
keep it.
He was clearly the one driving
favorite.
the corn conversation, which is super fucking weird.
Yikes. Yeah.
You know? Okay, wait, hang on. I don't have any issue with the channel. Okay, here you go. So they're like, I don't have any issue with the channel. What I have an issue with is our minors that have access to said channel.
Yeah.
Chris says, is there any way to do that? They're talking about locking it down to like age restricted, whatever. This is like exactly where I stopped. All right, so let's see.
Conclusion. I was also in a voice channel and Chris wants to keep it, which is totally understandable. So Chris advocating for it here and wanting to keep it, even though there have been multiple claims now in this Discord that people feel uncomfortable because it's full of kids. I also have an idea to make a channel a little bit safer. How about we make a role called 18 plus and we manually give it to people we know is in age? The way we can relax and not have to worry. Let me know what you guys think of the idea. I mean, Ryan gives a good idea. 18 plus channel, verify, and then you get access to it. Something, that's better than anyone can have access to it, and Chris seemingly doesn't care. And his reply would be to this, it would be a lot of work, lol. Oh yeah, it would be a lot of work. Just let the kids see it. It's like he wants them. Him in the voice chat saying that he wants to keep it, and then you've got the suggestion of, well, we should verify people's ages and give them a role. And Chris's response, it'd be a lot of work though. Like have some responsibility.
Okay, so this is what I was talking about. Where I'm like, okay, like it's bad, but it's more like I'm an irresponsible dimwit who is not.
Well, is there more?
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure there is.
For 20, and you're a weirdo anyway, having a Discord with a load of people underage, even having this channel. He then follows up with, but I'm fine with it. Yeah, well.
He's all fine.
The fact he even said that.
Keep it away from the children.
Just really shows.
Yeah,
if
we have to. I mean, whatever.
Confirmation that the inception of the NSFW chat was Chris's idea. Nathan, I made the NSFW channel. Put the blame on me. Honestly, why though? Because I was asked to by Chris. Full confirmation that Chris wanted that channel in Discord.
So he asked a teenager
to create a corn
channel. That is so weird. Like you have to it's not like that send him to jail, but that is very borderline.
I
dude.
strongly have feelings about this person's psyche. Like I genuinely don't believe that Chris was even thought of himself as an adult. It appears from all of this that I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say that he probably wasn't a super popular kid in high school.
Yeah.
And then he gets on this MrBeast thing and gets notoriety and fame, and suddenly he's cool. And now he has these cool kids who want to talk to him. And he's playing the part of the cool kid in high school that he wishes that he was. So I don't know. I mean, if this is wrong in all ways, this is not any sort of defense of him, but I don't know that it was necessarily nefarious.
This is kind of exactly what my point was when I was saying just in fairness, when they present it, they're going to paint him as dirty as possible where I think
this
is
just
wrong.
An insecure
Bottom
person
line.
who landed in a place where he suddenly had power and fame and notoriety and literally didn't know what to do and acted out his childhood fantasies.
Let's make sure that is how we're saying all this.
I'm just saying this now. I've not seen the rest of the video, but that's
too.
my initial gut feeling
If
on
in
it.
short order he's like, I'm going to take a picture of myself sticking my finger up my bung, and then I want you guys to comment on it, then we were going to change
my feelings.
That was full of people who absolutely shouldn't have access at all. Or logs saying, Chris, gonna put the link to the Discord on my story. Make sure NSFW is locked down to only gods and anointed, lol. Bruh, this is a bad idea. How?
See, what is that? Make sure it's locked down to only gods and anointed. What does that mean?
That is mods. So the gods are the moderators.
Is that what they're called in Discord?
They can. I mean, I don't know. But that's what they're calling
weird.
them. And then anointed means
moderators. Admin
moderators and people they select individual. They're you can have access. So
gods and anointed. Who? What? Okay, that alone is just weird.
It's internet culture, dude. It's internet.
The internet
culture.
is weird.
It's internet culture. Where and again, what kind of people? Really spend a lot of time in there. I'm just speculating. Mm-hmm. Probably not kids who are I could either be doing this or going down on a cheerleader. You know what I mean? It's It's either
being an actual real life woman.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I feel like if you have those two options, you do the cheerleader, but
that's
they
what I'm
do
saying.
not.
It's like the uncool kids who are like trying to be cool. And now they're like, we're the gods and the anointed. Like, what?
I mean, that is just kind of internet culture. Like, because like they are of that Discord. That is exactly what they are. Like, they determine what's in there, what's not. I know.
How about just
I know
admins
you
and
moderate a lot.
moderators?
I know you moderate a lot of
I do
groups, and you would
I
never
would
call yourself
never
a
call
god.
myself yes, never. It's bizarre.
I would call you a goddess, the bodice of a freaking goddess. Anyway, let's continue.
Okay. Like how
And
uncomfortable I'm
here
getting. My
is
shoulders
someone
are getting
bringing
like
up the
higher and
fact
higher
that
into
since
my
we've
ears.
restricted the NSFW bot now to just the mods and gods and anointed, we should probably restrict the mods to people who are 18
and over?
because they can view it. Discount milk. Since we age gated the NSFW channel, we need to demote any staff that isn't 18 at Chris. Nathan, okay friend, calm yourself. It's only fair. That makes no goddamn sense. You can, but is it necessary? What? The P channel was age gated because children can see it, correct? What teenager you know that hasn't seen a pair of tits yet? If there's like a 12-year-old on a staff, and yeah, but why would there be? I agree with that. So you want staff to see P because they're staff. I mean, staff is supposed to have...
Something tells me that Chris had maybe seen one pair in his entire life that happened to have been attached to the girl he ended up marrying and then destroying her life.
Access to all channels to moderate them. That's like policemen saying they're exempt from the law because they enforce it. Can't let children see it. That was the reasoning, correct? Why are you acting like it was my idea? No, I'm just arguing the logic behind it. If you're going to enforce it to one person, you got to enforce it to everyone. But you can see...
I love that the
people
children are the ones that are making logical
problem in this
sense.
Discord server. People are questioning why are the mods able to see it when they're not of the age. What really stands out to me here with these logs is how much of an issue this was and how it was brought up multiple times.
This is true.
Glaring issue, lack of responsibility
Just
or action.
Get rid of the channel.
Yeah.
Just get rid of the channel, dude.
But he loves it.
He wants
because he's
to
a god
talk
of the
about-
corn channel.
He wants to talk corn. Hey, look at how she
He's a corn. He's a corn god.
Look
and
at how
so,
she spreads it.
Bleh.
That's like, I want to see that channel.
Do you?
Show me that channel. I want to see that. I want to see, and maybe that's where it's going.
Or anything from Chris is insane. And the fact he had it made.
Let's fast forward.
Sky away for rolls. Can you DM me, please? Thank you. Love you, Dad. Check Snap, Dad. Like, that's confirmation as well. And we get
He's
more
calling
of that.
him
Chris
Daddy.
was DMing privately and talking to these people privately. Chris, the meme god, thanks, Milk. You're welcome, Dad. Chris, the meme god, if you get me mod, I will next time. Next time, text me, Dad. All right, boys, you guys want to see if I can get a service shout out from the daddy Chris when Dad talks?
I mean, that
my
could just
God,
be
it's
because he's older.
Absolutely vile. Just like, we have so much shit
Which-
now against
He's 20.
Either way, that it's
repulsive.
It's repulsive if it's like in a sexual nature, and it's repulsive if they mean it as him being like the adult, because then like that's just further solidifying that you have the adult, the dad in the chat who's like, yeah, let's keep the corn channel open to all the minors because it's too hard to lock it down. You know what I mean? Like either way, that's gross.
That's complete bullshit.
What happened?
My live stream that I just did, they blocked it
What are you talking
because
about?
I mean, I was live streaming the weigh-ins, which everyone is 100% allowed to do.
Who blocked it?
UFC did, and then they're like, because they put a promo from a former fight in their promo when they're live streaming the weigh-ins, they're like, oh, you use copyrighted.
Can you cut that part out?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Oh.
Which is exactly what I'm going to do, but that's stupid.
That is dumb.
And it's Chris.
They showed it to
so
the world
much.
for free, but you can't.
No. Like you're allowed to.
Yeah.
You're allowed to react to the event that I was reacting
Yeah,
to.
that's what I'm saying.
It doesn't make any sense.
And they put an ad in there that everyone else was seeing.
Everybody
for free.
sees this. It's a mistake. It's automated. And it's a
Yeah.
mistake.
And these logs are like, there's just absolutely no defense. It's indefensible. Makes me feel absolutely sick that this was all
Like those
going on.
panels he has
Oh,
on
okay.
the
And
wall
apparently,
for the sound.
I think
we
this
need
is.
those.
Yeah, I know. This is going to be the corn stuff. I think.
I don't know how much he saw. No one knows. But in February 2020, Someone said, bruh, Jimmy left this server. I don't know if MrBeast was in that server or not. Or I don't know what he saw, if he just joined it because he was Chris' server and just kind of left it and didn't really do anything. I don't think there's any proof of any interactions or anything. But if he even knew of this server going on and what was going on in it and the details, then that is fucked. We can't say much right now. We don't know. What we have is the proof against Chris.
But in fairness, Chris is a childhood friend of Jimmy's. He's not just a dude who is like on his show. There were like lots of people who came and went.
Like just staff. Yeah.
Staff, and they just came and they went. They didn't fit. Yeah. Like he's literally like his best friend growing up. Mm-hmm. If it was, I mean, Jimmy, and dude, MrBeast's a kid, dude. Like he's not old. You know, like when this happened, he's probably 20 years old.
So how long ago was this? How old are they now?
Maybe like, I don't know, actually. Probably maybe like 6 years ago or something like that.
Okay. But I mean, they were still like MrBeast and friends at that point already.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it is a lot of responsibility and weight to put on a 20-year-old. But I mean, if it were me, I like to think leaving it needs to be like, hey, Chris, dude, if you're going to be associated with this channel, like this needs to not be a thing.
See what it
like
looks
I can't even have this in the stratosphere of me.
But listen, 6 years ago, MrBeast was not MrBeast.
That's
yet.
what I was.
He was just a successful YouTuber. Okay. Right. And so what this says to me is that Jimmy's a good dude. Like he's just like, I don't even like, this is his really good friend's Discord.
It's an impossible
and he's like,
position.
No. I'm saying I don't think this is a moral thing. I think Jimmy is just like, ew, dude, this is weird. I'm out, you know?
Right.
Like, I don't think this was even about his brand back then. He's probably just like, this is fucking weird, man. I don't want to talk about corn with these weirdos.
With these kids.
Yeah. I think that reflects well on
a great text message. Sorry, this is important.
Like, everybody is going to paint that as Jimmy knew. But again, my opinion is I think that actually reflects well on Jimmy because it just shows he's not interested in that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, he's just like, ew, dude, I'm out of here. You know, again, 6 years ago, MrBeast was not $1 billion brand. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. But still.
Like, Lava responded to this coming out, all the chat logs, because he clearly got proven to be lying, saying, based on the recent screenshots and messages, I would like to say a statement about the Discord. This was 5 or 6 years ago, and I thought I had a good memory of the situation, but I was wrong. After reading the chat logs, this stuff was inappropriate and wrong. I spoke based on my memory of the situation, and I still do not remember these conversations, but they definitely happened. These conversations should not have happened with people at the age I was at the time. I strongly condemn them. I still believe I'm not a victim, but these conversations should not have happened with me and any other people underage in this Discord. I was underage in this situation and not an adult influencer who shouldn't have allowed this to happen. I did not see this wrong at the time. This is only related to a Discord server and not any other statement.
Oh,
P
God
and
damn
shit
it.
in
the
Gen
guy,
chat, even if it's just
the guy
messing
that
around.
defended
Clearly,
him.
And what was going on in it and the details, then that is strongly condemn them. I was underage in this situation and not an adult influencer who shouldn't have allowed this to happen. I did not see this wrong at the time. This is only related to the Discord server and not any other statements I've made regarding Ava Kris Tyson. Well, you got caught lying, buddy, and lying bad. But at least he's come out now, admitted it, saying it was real, everything that happened, and confirming that they weren't of the right age to see any of that. As I said last time, this is truly the downfall of the MrBeast crew right now. Subscribe if you're new, like if you
That's
enjoy.
it?
I mean...
That's what they've got on him? I mean, listen, it's weird, for sure. And you have to condemn it because you have to make an example of people who are like, ooh, let me share this stuff with kids.
Yeah.
Like, but the stuff that, like that stuff is not the issue with... The issue with Chris is that he was associated with some guy who draws kitty corn. Like, and he knows him. Like, this is exactly what I said on my live stream, and I'll repeat it right now. Like, especially, and okay, so like, if someone makes long form content, you have a pretty good idea of who they are. And so like associating with them in many cases is like, okay, I jive with their personality, right?
Yeah.
On Twitter, very different. Instagram, very different.
Yeah.
You have two.
I think Instagram's more closely related with YouTube because you've got like the stories and
sure, it's midway in between.
You see people more. Yeah.
But nonetheless, okay, so like Twitter though, it's like you get like a couple things that you can make your brand.
Right.
And then people decide whether they want to connect with you and follow you and interact with you. This guy that Kris was very openly interacting with and promoting whatever, his brand is I draw children engaged in that.
Why?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
If you're associated with that guy and then you bought one of his art pieces,
proudly displayed it, right? Isn't it like
whether it was a kid in that one or not, like you bought art from a guy whose brand is that. You're finished.
Yeah.
Like I already know what you know, Kris Tyson, which is that the second someone gets into your computer, you're going to have an avalanche of kitty corn in there. You know it. I know it.
Yeah.
Gabrielle knows it. Everyone knows it. The feds know it. MrBeast knows it. Everyone knows. Okay. No one slips on a banana peel and lands on kitty corn. Okay. Like you have to go through way too many steps to access that stuff. You have to, the fact that you could even be in a conversation with a person like that means that you run in circles that could lead you to a person like that.
You're looking for it. You actively are seeking it out.
I mean, like there's no scenario where I'm going to end up even knowing who that guy is if it's not for this
100%.
situation. The other thing too, I was saying is that like, I feel like these people who are into that stuff, every time one of these stories like this blows up, they'll always find like these little morsels of people basically outwardly just telling you that they're into that stuff kind of. I think what it is that the internet enables everyone to connect with each other. And so these people find each other.
Right.
And they talk. And then they get this false idea that like it's much more acceptable than they realize. And then so they kind of let it slip out. Like, you know, hey, like this one other guy who got popped for this, he said if kitty corn is so wrong, then stop making it so hot to have a 10-year-old blah 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 blah. I don't even want to say it out loud. And I was like,
did those words actually leave your mouth?
This guy actually is like a mentally ill person, but he's also a kitty. He's also a diddler.
What I think they all are
Bang.
is mentally ill.
Bang.
You know my feelings on things that go against actual biology.
Dude, exactly. And if you say
Little
the words...
children can't procreate, therefore they should not be seen or had in positions that are designed for procreation. Like, that's broken. Your brain is broken.
Your brain has
if you
broke.
think that's a good thing.
It's like...
a hot thing. Like, it's... Ugh.
It's also one of those things where if your brain is on straight, because like every single time you ever talk to somebody about this stuff, like, well, there's some people who are just wired that way. And then other people are like, well, it started with like this kind of corn. And then I was like, let me check out this kind of corn. And then let me try this kind of corn.
Or whatever. Yeah.
And it's like, first of all, I'm not into any weird shit like that. Number one. Well, obviously not that, but like any kind of weird shit, like it's just not my deal. But like, there is just like, I would never go even look like at that. Like I would never go look at that. I don't want to see that ever. Like I don't want that shit in my eyes ever. I never want to see something like, I'll fucking flip out, dude.
Agreed.
So a person who would seek that out is fucked in the head.
Their brain is broken. Yeah. Their biological ticker is not ticking properly. It's horrifying.
Yeah. Like the Duggar kids. Someone asked in the comments on our video that we did about this the other day, they're all, so what's this Duggar situation you're referencing? I was like, Google it.
It's
the oldest
really sad.
Duggar kid is a broken brain, kitty diddling.
Found a whole bunch of kitty corn on his computer at the car dealership.
That was not even the biggest part. It's like he straight up did it to his sisters.
Well, they don't, like, thankfully for the girls, they never released the details of that, and so I don't know really what or how far that went, but definitely some inappropriate moments with his younger sisters at home under his parents' roof, and that's horrifying. Like horrifying. And then what an impossible situation, like we were talking about, for the parents. That broken person is still your child, your firstborn. Honestly, the reason why the show took off in the first place, the reason why this family is now like multi-millionaires, you add that layer to it, but then you have your young daughters that you of course need to protect because they're your daughters. I don't even know. But and then there's just also this degree, I think, that they probably feel as parents too. With 19 kids, they did outsource their childcare to the older children. Like, and so there's another degree of like guilt and another layer. I honestly can't imagine what happened in their brains. And they're very religious, and so they're like, oh, God can heal him. And this is nothing against religion, but I think that boy needed more than religion. So they did send him away in hopes that it would, like, you know, he was going to be cured of it all and reset and reprogrammed at this religious experience place that he went to, only to come home. And then comes the kitty corn situation at the car dealership. He's married with small children at home of his own, only had sex with one person in his life, who was his wife that he married. So then you have that degree of sexual, like, pent up. Well, we don't know what happened with the sisters. Like,
escorts, whatever.
We don't.
You have no idea
we don't
what
know.
that freak is into.
We don't know. But then you think about that you have this young man who's entering adulthood, you know, hormones are raging. It's his religion that he can't do anything till he's married. Naturally, he's cured. Like, there's so many layers to it that.
No, I hope you're not saying that drives you to kitty corn.
No. But I'm saying, like, if your brain is already broken and hard, and you know your hardware is a little messed up, that will add to it.
Sure. I agree with all of that up until the end of I don't know if the religion drives you into kitty corn.
I'm not saying religion does, but they came from a very, they weren't even allowed to kiss until they got married. They couldn't even hold hands without, like, an escort. So you're saying, like, he has all that energy and it ends up just focused on the closest thing. And then this is, again, by no means
speculation.
Yeah.
And not
condoning at all. And just, I'm like, how people's brains work is fascinating to me. Even, like, horrible, terrifying, awful brains. I'm still very curious.
We have that in
about
common.
How they tick. And I don't know. There's just a lot of layers to unpack there.
That makes sense. And you know what I think about too is when the whole thing happened, you know, they sent him away. They did the best they could to suppress that story. Because there's one, I mean, listen, like, the end of the day.
Because they did have to send him away, like you were saying, in secret, in silence, because their show was one of the top rated shows on television.
And
TLC's biggest show.
You're a public figure,
Yeah.
and you don't want that associated with you at all. So of course you want it to be quiet.
Yeah.
And so, you know, when people gave them shit about trying to keep it as quiet as possible, you're all, what are you talking about?
What were they supposed to do?
Of course they're going to keep it quiet. The
Call
problem,
TMZ.
you have to solve, you have to solve this issue with your kid. And
Yeah, it's a family issue.
So you do whatever you have to do to solve it. And why would you make a big public thing about it if it's not public?
Yeah.
Like, what benefit is there to you to have it be public?
Yeah, none.
You know? But so there was that. Then when he got caught, but everybody kind of knew about it. When he got caught with the
computer at the dealership, yeah.
His dad was in the middle of a run for Congress and was winning,
about that.
and it just destroyed his campaign. Like, imagine the level of disdain that you would have for your kid if that happened. Like, not only, like, just think of all of the things that they had just destroyed for you.
Yeah. Your family,
and because
your career, your
deviant.
income, your future in politics, like all of it.
And for that reason, like, your kid is a deviant.
Yeah. Awful.
I don't know what that would be like, because, you know, you want to think that, like, your love for your children is just unconditional.
I don't know about that situation.
I don't know about that situation either, because you're like, I mean, I know that I would be questioning myself whether I had contributed to it or whatever somehow.
Of course. Yeah, I'm sure there's a degree of...
even it still, I'd be like, you repulsive
but also
freak.
The fact that the daughters were involved like that, for me, I think, I mean, I don't know. Number one, I don't know. Like,
that's true.
You're done, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
Done.
You're right. Yeah, I mean, like, man, nothing is, dude. Somebody hurts my kids.
Oh, I rage.
Yeah. And, like, my oldest son, I just have trouble with the son thing because I don't have any sons.
Yeah,
so I still
don't understand
kind of default to, that's a boy. Like, I'll fuck you up, boy. But, like, I know I didn't understand what it was like to have kids prior to having kids. And so I feel ignorant.
Yeah.
Anyway, Kris Tyson's situation, actually, and this is, I mean, he's going to get buried for this, but I think that
I'm sure we'll start to see more things come out as time unfolds and
Yeah.
they get into the computers and stuff.
Yeah,
this is an interesting tip of the iceberg, but definitely not like nail in the coffin.
I agree 100%. It's like this is a interesting detail that actually didn't look that bad on its own. But again, I want everybody.
I mean, it was pretty bad on its own, but
pretty
it's
bad.
not like, you know.
But it's not compared to like I bought kitty corn and hung it up on my wall. Like that's way worse.
Agreed.
Anyway,
Subscribe.
subscribe.
See you next time.
Bye bye.